Hi everyone, Jennifer here. I felt inspired to just do this quick video, and it's obviously very informal. I'm in my bed with my laptop because something happened today and I just wanted to talk about it with you, and I wanted to hear your thoughts about it. Because our society is going in a direction that to me is really shocking with regard to the subject I'm going to talk about today, and I wanted to take your temperature and see how you feel. I already know I'm going to get comments from people that are, just hating on this subject. Hater comments. I'm expecting them. They always come when I talk about this kind of thing. And I don't know why. Anybody who normally watches this channel should not be surprised by what I'm about to say, okay? Ooh, now I'm making it a big deal. So, this afternoon, my husband and I took our daughters out for a really nice Sunday brunch, okay? And we very rarely, I mean very rarely, go to nice restaurants anymore because I find it A, expensive, and B, it's very stressful sometimes with the children, I find. But as the girls are getting older, we are able to enjoy restaurants a bit more. So today we took them to Casa Del Mar, which is a beautiful hotel on the beach in Santa Monica. And it's right next to Shutters, which is a very famous hotel. And Casa Del Mar has a restaurant called the Terraza. And it's not the world's fanciest restaurant by any means, but for us right now, it's pretty fancy, okay? So this was Sunday brunch, and we go, it was like 1 o'clock in the afternoon that we go. And we're all dressed up, right? Because this is a big deal. And even the girls. And we go in, and it's so beautiful. By the way, if you ever visit Santa Monica, you should definitely go to Shutters and Casa Del Mar. They're just beautiful hotels, and you walk in, and it's that opulence, and it's just nice to go to a nice hotel every now and then, right? And they have these beautiful indoor plants. It's like an indoor garden, and you sit, and it's like Spanish-style design. It's very beautiful, a very tasteful, high-end hotel. So we go to the brunch restaurant, and it's, full of people, and everyone is really well dressed, and what you would expect from a Sunday lunch. You put some thought into your outfit, right? Into your appearance. Does not mean that you were dressed to the nines in the most expensive labels. That is not what I'm talking about. So those of you who want to comment on that, you can just dismiss that immediately. I'm not talking about displaying or flashing wealth here. I'm just talking about dressing respectfully for the environment that you're in. This is a nice restaurant, right? So we have a beautiful table right in front of the window with an ocean view. And my husband and I give the girls the ocean view because we want them to really, have a wonderful time. So my husband and I are facing inward to the restaurant. As I said, all of the other patrons were really well dressed, and, it was just a lovely atmosphere. And I thought, oh, it's so nice to be at a nice restaurant for once, Then in walks 3 people, and it was 2 women and a man, and they were, you know what I'm about to say, don't you? They were dressed in their exercise clothes, okay? And they were all in like really tight spandex, really nice exercise clothes, but still exercise clothes. Just, their hair a complete mess. I don't know if they just came from a workout or if they're going to one, or maybe that's just how they dress every day, I'm not sure. The neon sneakers, trainers, whatever you call them, and their exercise clothes, and, they sit down at the table next to us. I'm sorry, but it really bothers me. It bothers me, and I know that this is the direction that the world is going. You go to any restaurant, especially in Los Angeles, okay, especially any casual restaurant, for example, and most people will be in their exercise clothes. I mean, it's just what everybody seems to wear now. But when you go to a nice restaurant, okay, where you are actually spending your hard-earned money and a lot of it to have an experience, I just do not understand that, how they can come strolling in there dressed like that. So the 3 of them sit down, and you know what I'm going to say next. Guess what the first thing they do is when they sit down? They pull out their cell phones, and they all just, I don't know what they're doing, if they're texting people or if they're checking Instagram. I don't know what they're doing, but they're on their cell phones. I'm trying to ignore all this, by the way. And, for those of you who are going to say, oh, you should have been enjoying lunch with your family, I was. We had a wonderful lunch, and the girls really appreciated it, which was really nice. But, just observing these people took just literally a minute for all of this to happen, and I took it all in, trust me. They sit down and they're on their phones. And literally, they slouch over the table. They're on their phones the whole time. And I just don't get it. They did it the entire time we were there. That is how they behaved. They had their phones out. They were just on their phones, not talking to each other in their workout clothes. Okay, so that's my story. Now, here's why this bothers me. Because my family and I, because we don't go out so often to nice restaurants, when we do, right, and we decide, okay, we're going to spend the money and have an experience and we're going to go to a certain place, I don't want to see people in their exercise clothes on their cell phones. I would like to be in a nice, classy establishment where everybody is holding each other up to the standard of the place that they're in. Those people could have gone to the beach cafe and they would have been just fine over there. You know, there's a time and place for this type of thing. I know that many of you will argue with me on this, okay? I just know it. I'm expecting it. It's going to come. But who agrees with me? Because the haters are always very vocal. And it's the people like us who actually care about the standards that are afraid to say anything, you know? I remember saying to my husband, because he actually noticed it first, and he was the one who said it to me. I said, you know what? I feel like if I had a restaurant, I would have a dress code. I would have a dress code, and I don't care who it would bother. No exercise clothes, seriously, and a no phone policy at the table. Because everywhere you go in restaurants today, people are on their phones, they're in their exercise clothes. Those are two major pet peeves of mine. So, yes, so those are my thoughts. You know, when you are spending the money in a nice restaurant to have a nice experience with your family, when people walk in like that and they behave like that, it just brings down the tone of the whole experience. It's the same thing as when you go to the ballet or the theater or to a very special occasion. If everybody's not on board, then it just brings down the tone, and I'm sorry, but it does. Those are my thoughts, and I just had to get them out to see what you think. This all has to do with everything that I write about, looking presentable always. This is not about money either, because I know I will get those comments. These people were wealthy, and I could tell by the car that they drive. Just goes to show that money does not buy class, okay? It has nothing to do with that. You can go to the poorest areas and people have dignity and self-respect and present themselves well, which is what it is all about. So that is my talk for today. I want to know your thoughts about this. Have you noticed that at nice restaurants or in nice establishments, such as the theater or places where you should be dressing up, that people are no longer dressing up? And also there's a direct correlation between the people who don't dress up and their behavior, slouching over the table, texting the entire time that they're at the table. I think there's a direct correlation there, and I want to hear from you. Please let me know in the comment section below what you think about this, and that's it. All right, thank you very much, and I will see you next time on the Daily Connoisseur. Bye!